Robbo, how did you find that tonight?
I found the table very difficult. It was quite cold actually in and around the table, and that's usually a recipe for disaster with how the cushions are going to play. And so yeah, it was never going to be a night where I could get any kind of scoring going. Very tough, but you need to adjust to different conditions, and I thought I managed about as well as I could.
Yeah, now Folsey knows short, sharp shrift when it comes to players complaining about conditions for me, but this is consistent we're getting at the moment. Today's colder. Judd Trump said exactly the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know.
Everyone's saying the same thing. Bit colder, table's playing a bit heavier.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer in just make it, if anything, a little bit too hot. The table will play well if it's a little bit too hot. The players would rather be a little bit too hot than asking for a mug of hot water or a cup of tea or something to keep their hands warm.
Yeah.
Just make the arena warm.
Well, I just wonder, because I said that to Judd and he said the same as that about the table. But the outside tables, there have been some very big breaks and high scoring. So I'm not. They're clearly different because all the good players are saying what you're saying. But why is that? Why are the outside tables so much breaks? Huge breaks all week.
Generally speaking, the outside tables are bigger pockets.
Right. Okay.
Whenever I've played on the outside tables this season, it's been like, my God, you can't miss anything below the black.
Wow, I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah. But also, you've got more tables and around there, so there's more heat generated. Out in the arena, it's just that one table, and there's just nothing around. So
interesting.
Neil, just clarify that for us, especially for everyone watching that doesn't play snooker and just loves it at watching it. Because, when you talk about where you hit a cue ball, you say, oh, I hit it more left, it's a millimetre. When you say the pockets are bigger, just clarify that for me in terms of the margins you're talking about, what you're saying.
I mean, they're not... Physically, they're probably exactly the same template, but for some reason, the balls seem to slide in bit easier. Some venues, it's the opposite. Some venues we go to, sometimes it's a lot tougher on the outside tables than it is the main tables. Just it varies. But what I've experienced here so far with these tables, that the outside ones are a little bit better for scoring, which I probably would have preferred today.
They're not meant to be bigger. They're meant to be all the same. To
no, yeah. I'm sure they're the
more
same.
Forgiving. More forgiving.
You're talking like percentages of millimetres, less than millimetres.
But listen, I've seen darters go up to start a darts match, the best players in the world, and they can throw one dart and they can say, that board's off by a millimetre, because that's the accuracy these guys are playing to. I just want to clarify that you're not saying that they're double the size or even half a centimetre bigger. In terms of your opponent tonight, Lee Hang, I know that you've got a lot of respect for him again when it comes to not being in the TV table. It doesn't seem to be able to bring it over that often onto the TV table, and I think that slow start he had tonight especially.
Yeah, I think may have been the last time we played, or certainly in Northern Ireland a couple of years ago. He beat me 5-0 and he played absolutely flawless. And nothing makes me more angry when somebody beats me playing so well, then they get on a TV table and just can't reproduce. I don't know what it is. It's a shame, really, because he's a really, really good player. And he's beaten all the best players in the world. He's beaten Judd before, myself, and many others. So it's just even without a crowd, he still couldn't sort of raise it. But it's good for me, I suppose, that my job was slightly easier tonight.